Let's go. Did he close the chat doc? Sorry, I gotta get everything reconfigured since, what's his name was in here. There we are. How's it going? We're just getting started over here. I took my setup back from whoever that guy was. Weird dude. Weirdo. Wow, strange he was. Right? We can all agree that he was very strange and weird. And you're all glad to have me back, right? Right? Hello, sitting with you. Hey, Crovis. Hey, Max guy. Where was my beard? He's at work. Hey, Agnostic. No worries, Boogie. Yeah, good joke indeed. I decided it would be fun to just try keeping the same topic and see how the responses might differ between yesterday and today, and we can see what the difference might be. Just a little curious to see how it's received differently between me and my partner. My bangs are growing into my eyes now. It's that really fun part of the haircut where it's like just not quite comfortable, but I don't want to go get a full other. I have really boring struggles in life, alright? Like over here, like, oh, my bangs are a couple millimeters too long. They'll dry fine. My hair is like wet right now, cause I'm a night showerer. We got any fellow night showerers in here? Can I get ones in chat if you're a night showerer? And if you're a day shower, shut the fuck up. Okay, we got a couple of them. See, some people may argue, like, okay, but when you shower at night, then, like, if you do your hair all nice, you're just gonna sleep on it and it's immediately gonna get ruined. I usually sleep in a bonnet. But I do not have the energy to wake up super early in the morning to shower and get ready and put on makeup. I mean, obviously, you see the way that I stream typically. Hey, looks like we've got a guest. If they load in. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey there, can I get your name, age, and what pronouns we should use for you?
Yeah, I'm Breacher, 36. I'm he, him all day, every day.
Alright, all day, every day. Well,
You're
welcome
they, them?
in. I use they, them pronouns, yeah.
Okay, I try to not be confused on that.
I would
usually
if you
use.
tried to not be confused.
No, I usually use they, them when I'm referring to multiple people, usually.
Usually,
So I'll
yeah,
try.
but I bet you have used it for an individual before. Like, if you found a wallet on the ground somewhere, and there was no ID in it, and you, like, brought it to, like, a reception, or, like, brought it to someone to turn it in, what would you say?
Hey, I found this wallet.
Well, you might say, like, if you were to describe the person, if you were going to say, like, somebody dropped...
Yeah, so I'd use there, which demonstrates ownership.
Well, yeah, but it's a gender-neutral demonstration of ownership. That would be using they in it's they, them, theirs. There, for referring to one person, is singular they.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I'll try. But yeah. So when you talk about the prompt, when you talk about the Bible, are you referring to like Christianity specifically?
Yeah, the Christian Bible.
Awesome. Yeah. So what in the Christian teaching, which Christianity in part is defined as the teachings of Jesus Christ, what about the teachings of Jesus Christ create toxic men?
Yeah, so Jesus Christ says to follow the law of the prophets. He reiterates it multiple times, especially in Matthew 5:17. He says that if you do not follow the old commands and the prophets, then you'll be regarded as least in the kingdom of heaven. So everything that is described as the law within the Old Testament would be also considered the teachings of Jesus Christ.
Matt, you said that was Matthew 5:17.
Yeah. For he did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it.
Wait, is that what it says, or what you just said first is what he said?
Well, you have to read the whole thing.
Yes, I think you're conflating scriptures about. So where's the scripture where it says if you don't, you'll be least in the kingdom? What context is that referring to? Can I read that?
I'll pull it up. Yeah, so it is right after. So, the verse that I was referring to, because I referred you to Matthew 5:17, where he says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets, for I have not come but to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished." And then 2 verses later, therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So yeah, it is the passage that I was referring to. Preacher?
Oh, I'm talking to myself. My bad. Yeah. So, God, okay, I'm going to say everything I just said again. So yeah, it's referring to all of the commandments here. If you're breaking them one, you're breaking them all. But so, by the way, the commandments isn't Christianity, but nonetheless, yeah. So what in the law?
Hold on. Didn't you say that Christianity was the teachings of Jesus?
Yes.
So if Jesus teaches you to keep the commandments, doesn't that make the commandments Christianity?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. So Jesus actually came and did away with the commandments.
Okay, what did we just read, like 10 seconds ago?
Yeah, so I understand what you just read.
That was Jesus saying that he did not come to get rid of the commandments. That was Jesus himself saying, hey, I'm not getting rid of the commandments. So you read that and say, well, Jesus got rid of the commandments.
Oh, no, okay, so let me read it for you again. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. Yeah, I have not come... I'm sorry. Think not that I come to destroy...
We can stop there. We can stop there because that means don't think that I've come to get rid of the commandments. That's what that means.
Yeah, but I come to fulfill them. Is there a reason why you're ignoring that part?
Because fulfill doesn't mean do away with. It means follow. If you fulfill the speed limit, it doesn't mean the speed limit goes away.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean complete?
No.
Okay.
Not in this context. The law doesn't go away because someone fulfills it. It just means that he follows the law perfectly.
Yeah, I think you're doing a little bit of category error here. But what if I show you after Jesus rose from the dead, he told...
Wait, how is it a category error? I don't really want to pivot right now. How is that a category error?
Oh, yeah, so you're referring... you're referencing natural things or spiritual things.
How am I referencing... What natural things am I referencing?
Oh, the speed limit.
Speed limits are natural?
Yes, that's a natural concept.
Where do speed limits occur in nature?
So it's a natural concept. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, do like beavers have speed limits? Because they go too damn fast? Oh, we're having a great time. Yeah, so like how are speed limits natural?
Okay, ask the question, how are speed limits a natural concept? That should be the question you ask.
Okay. Thank you for correcting me on my own question that I asked. How are speed limits a natural concept?
Awesome, yeah. So within our society, we create a concept on how fast one should travel on the roadway.
Yeah, that would be a social construct. That would not be natural.
Okay, so you understand what I mean by natural, right? I'm not talking about in nature itself. I'm talking about within our society. I know you. I know you know that's what I meant.
You're misusing what natural.
Okay, sure. I don't want to spend any more time talking about trivial things. Can we talk about what?
Well, sure. When I point out that you're just like blatantly misusing a word, you don't want to talk about it, but you want to say I'm committing a category error.
Okay,
when I
lose,
say
you
that
win.
Jesus outright says I'm not here to get rid of the commandments, and you're saying, but Jesus did away with the commandments.
Right. So I'm being intellectually honest with the whole text. I don't think you are, because you
I
said
don't
that
think you're being
fulfill.
intellectual with the text at all.
Okay. So you said fulfill doesn't mean to complete it, right? So I'm getting ready. Are you familiar with the Bible? Are you well versed in the Bible?
I've read like a verse or two. I don't know
No.
about well versed because all the verses suck. Go on.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to show you how Jesus, after he rose from the dead, he told his disciples that he came to fulfill. This is what I was talking to you about while I was yet with you. That I came to fulfill the law and things in the prophet, the things said about the prophets
Yeah, we've read that
or
like
by
three
the
times now.
prophets.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you think that scripture has no correlation to this? Let me read it for those who may not be familiar with what I'm talking about. It's to be Luke 24:44. Right. So again, this is where after Jesus rose from the dead. All right, because you're saying, because you're not talking about the fulfilled part. Um, yeah. So
Yeah,
and he said unto
you're
them,
misusing fulfilled. Because when he says fulfill again, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, it just means you don't have to follow it. It's not in effect.
No. Okay, so if someone next to me fulfills the speed limit, do I no longer have to follow the speed limit?
Yeah, if you fulfill the obligation owed to me, you no longer owe me an obligation.
That's I'm not sure who you're having a conversation with. The question I asked is, if the person next to me fulfills the speed limit, do I
What do you
not
mean
have
by
to follow the speed limit?
that question is unintelligible? What do you mean fulfill this? You mean follow? I'm not talking about following.
I said fulfill, the exact same word we are using in this other context.
So fulfill is a synonym for to follow?
In this case, yes, fulfilling the law is following the law.
Okay. So
Why would it mean to do away with? No one says, oh yeah, let's do away with the law by fulfilling it. Like, what?
Okay, so let's not just have a psychological state sword fight here, right? You think is that,
My sword
I
is a
think is
lot bigger
another
than
thing.
yours.
I mean, have you ever went black? Anyway, so what I'm saying in Luke 24:44, right? It's Jesus is telling them that he fulfilled these things, right? You want me to read it? I'll read it for the people in the back.
Fucking sure.
And he said, yeah, awesome, yeah. So, by the way, I have the gift of gab. So, when you said your sword is bigger than mine, yeah, I'm gonna hit back. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled. Think not that I came to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. After rising from the dead, these are the words that I spake unto you while I was yet with you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you run that back one more time? What did he say he didn't come to do?
Yeah, he didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it.
Oh, so he didn't come to do what?
Right. Not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it.
Gotcha. So he didn't come to get rid of the law, he came to follow it.
Fulfill doesn't mean, okay. All right. So again, this is scripture. I'm proving to you that it doesn't mean to follow, right? He says,
Kind of
after he rose from the...
reaffirming my
Is there a reason you don't want me to read it for the people to hear? Is that like a
you've
strategy?
already read it like 3 times. What else
I
do you
read it like 3 times. This is my first time reading it and you cut me off. What are you talking about?
You just read it multiple times. You said that he did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it over and over and over again.
I'm talking about Luke 24:44. What you just read was your scripture. What I was talking about is your scripture. I'm reading where Jesus fulfills it after he rose from the dead.
Okay.
Unalivement.
Okay. You were just repeating what I'd said, so I thought you were just repeating what I'd said. I'm like, we've already done this.
Luke 24:44. After Jesus rose from the dead, he said, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened their understanding that they might understand the scripture. He's letting them know after now coming from the unalivement, he has fulfilled the tab. That's what it means. It's paid in full. Not he's following the laws of Moses now that he's risen from the
That's
unalivement.
incoherent. It was not do away with. He never says that he's here to do away with it.
He completed. He paid the tab.
Okay, so if someone follows the law, that doesn't get rid of the law.
You don't have to follow the law. The Bible even further explains that, where Paul even teaches that as well.
I mean, you disagree with Jesus, I guess.
Oh, so you're agreeing that Paul teaches you don't have to follow it, and Paul disagree with Jesus?
saying, well, I mean, Paul does disagree with Jesus, but I'm saying that you are disagreeing with Jesus by saying that Jesus did intend to get rid of the law when he outright says here that he did not come to get rid of the law.
Okay. Anyway, so I think I've proven that. Now, how in the law does create toxic men? I think that's the crutch of what we're talking about.
Yeah, you love reading scripture. Can you read Leviticus 21:9 for me?
Awesome. Yeah, man. Let's go to the covenant between God and people of Israel.
Very eager to read scripture. I do have a super chat from Sir String that says, "This dude is an idiot. May I speak?" I don't know if that's you asking or you asking on Breacher's behalf here, but either way, go ahead.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say everybody that disagrees with you and your ideology is an idiot. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that.
You know what? I agree. Everyone who disagrees with my ideology is an idiot.
Yeah. Leviticus what now?
21:9.
Okay. Okay, Luke 21. I'm sorry, Luke. Leviticus 21:9.
Yep.
Yes, and the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, and she shall be burnt with fire. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so being intellectually honest with the text, my thoughts on this is a covenant between God and Israel, specifically, and these were. I mean, I just read it. Would you like me to read it again?
Yeah, can you just say it in your own words?
Oh yeah, so within that society, laws given that if a daughter profanes her father, what's the word used? Yeah, she shall be burnt.
Yeah. And who gave that law?
Oh yeah, so I'd have to read back if this is one of the things that God gave or Moses. Oh, and the Lord said unto Moses, "Speak unto the priests and the son of Aaron, and they unto them, and there shall none be defiled for the dead." Okay, so I have to go back to see if God is speaking here or it's Moses giving the laws that he enacted.
It's God.
Okay.
So yeah, God gave this law that if the daughter of a priest profanes herself by playing the whore, there's different translations. Some say promiscuity, or some say prostitution, but really the most clear picture here is if she commits adultery, if she has sex outside of marriage. So if the daughter of a priest has sex outside of marriage, she is to be burned in the fire.
Hey, you sure it's God speaking here?
It's Leviticus. It's the Levitical laws.
Yeah, so I'm saying, are you sure it's God speaking here, not Moses?
Okay, so if we are trying to say, oh, it wasn't God, it was Moses, even if you think that's the case, and it was God directly, because look at the first verse, but even if it wasn't, who is giving Moses the laws?
Oh yeah, so you do understand that Moses also made some laws, or God granted him to make up some laws, right? You say you weren't well versed in the Bible, or you don't know about what you know that, right?
Yeah,
you know not every law.
Bible's a tricky fucking thing. That's why I've known nothing about it this whole time, where I've been able to give you multiple Bible verses and also offer some insight into different translations and historical context. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, honesty check. Was all commandments enacted by God, or did Moses enact some of them through or by the authority of God, I would say, or allowed to do so by God? Honesty check.
It's depicted as if it is directly from God, like Moses is giving the will of God. If you think that Moses is inaccurately representing the will of God, that's going to be a whole different argument.
Yeah, so that wasn't my question. I'm saying there are some laws given directly by God. This is my position. Tell me if it's true or not, right? I hold that there are some laws given directly to Moses by God, and there were some laws that Moses made and enacted in and of himself.
Do you think God wrote these down himself?
So you don't want to? Am I wrong or
Did
right?
God write the Bible?
Which ones, Breaker?
Oh yes, breacher. So yeah. First, I'll be able to show you, but you'd have to concede that there are some laws that Moses made up.
No, that's your
No.
position, but I'd like you to defend it.
Oh wait, let me get it from the host. I want to kill two birds with one stone.
Already
Is
said
all
no.
the law? You said no?
And Moses didn't just make up laws. The laws that are given by Moses are ones that God gives to Moses to give to the people. Because God didn't write all this shit down himself in the Bible. So if you're trying to say that he made it up just because he was given the laws by God and he, like, passed them down or recorded them afterwards, like, that's going to be really tricky for the entirety of the Bible, because God did not put pen to paper. So I don't know how you would trust any of the Bible if you say that anything that is written down by a person instead of God is not actually the word of God. But also we can't hear you when you're not in the app.
Yeah, he's Googling Matthew 19.
Oh wait. Oh well. That's one of the few things I would say. So is that an admission, Joshua?
No,
Was that-
that's your position, right? I'm
did you
asking you
listen to-
based on the lights of the narrative.
Breacher, did you happen to
Yeah,
listen to
it's-
anything I just said?
Yes. You're basically saying that God didn't write it on paper itself. You hold that if Moses had to write it, then God would have to give it to Moses to write it, right? Right. So let's take what your friend said about Matthew 19. It speaks about divorce. Was that Moses or was that God?
By your lights?
What do you mean
Like
by
your
that?
theological position?
No. Based on what the Bible says. Let's read it.
There's no such thing as the Bible.
Oh,
right?
sure, you're an atheist. I get it. But let's
No.
look into
No,
it.
I don't think you understood what I said.
Okay. Let's read what the
Right?
Bible
What you're arguing right now is your theological position, and that's fine. I'm asking you by the lights of Leviticus 21, can you show me where it's not Yahweh? Go ahead.
Okay, I got you.
Matthew 19 is not going to help you here.
Oh, you okay. Well, let's listen to the language used there. Let's see if it's Moses or if it's God enacting this thing about divorce. Okay.
Nobody said anything about divorce. I'm
We're
asking
talking
about
about
Leviticus 21.
21:9.
No. See, you guys are baiting and switching.
Focus up, preacher.
That's the first
Wait.
thing I asked you to talk about Leviticus 21:9. You tried to use Matthew 19, which references different verses. So it's not bait and switch. You tried to switch up the topic by referencing Matthew 19 and then bring it back to verses about divorce when we were talking about the burning of priest daughters.
Right. So, no. So again, okay. What did I say about killing two birds with one stone? What did I use that in reference to? Let's see if you guys
Something
are
about
honest.
holding them in the bush. I don't know why you just want to like hold bushes, but
I said nothing about bush.
I thought it was fewer fucks I could not give. I don't know.
Yeah. So
a bird in
so
the
my-
hand means grab your bush, I think was the phrase.
So my position, if anybody's halfway honest, was that not all laws was given by God directly to Moses. There's some laws that Moses enacted himself. I asked you, host. I listened because you said it under your breath. You said no. You said no to. I said okay. I want to kill two birds with one stone. Right. So that's what we were
Under my
talking
breath,
about.
You were just talking over me, so it sounded
Awesome.
quieter.
Now that everybody's reminded, you said that every single law was given by God and none Moses enacted in and of himself. I'm getting
According
ready
to
show
the
you
lights
wrong.
of the narrative of the Hebrew Bible, which is why I'm asking you, sir, in Leviticus 21, show me where it's Moses, not Yahweh. Go ahead.
So you don't want me to show you the law where Moses enacted by himself? You're talking about one specific thing? I hold that there's some things that Yahweh
Yes,
did
I
with
am
Moses.
well aware of your theological position. That's why I told it to you. I didn't have to Google it like you did. I know that
So
you
you
want to go to
conceded.
Matthew 19 to take you back to Deuteronomy 24. I'm well aware of this. What
All right,
I'm
so that's
saying
a
is there's a
concession.
difference
Thank you.
between, hey, preacher, time to be quiet now.
Is your child in the room?
Your theological position is not according to the lights of Leviticus 21. So that's what I'm asking you to do.
Okay. All right. So that's a concession. We can talk about the burning of the child now, right? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, yeah. So that's what's happening in the scripture, there, host.
God,
Yeah.
chess with a motherfucking pigeon right now. Go on.
You guys can't even just allow a concession. You conceded. Just leave it alone. Moses enacted some laws.
I was working on my audio settings. I didn't concede shit.
Okay. All right. So God didn't say. Show me where God said anything about divorce. Then.
We're not talking about.
You ready to talk
I
about
asked
Leviticus 21?
About the burning of priest daughters.
Okay, let's go back
to
burning of priest daughters. Do I need to put up
some like fucking Subway Surfers gameplay to keep you engaged in this conversation? What is happening?
Okay,
Preacher, let me help you here. Let me help you by steel manning your position, okay? Since you didn't know Leviticus, Matthew 19, you had to Google it, right? We didn't have to do that. You did. Let me try to steel man your position. In a debate that I had with Stuart and Cliff Connectley, right? They tried to bring this up in the context of slavery in the Hebrew Bible. And what he wants to say is that Matthew 19 is a principle, right? It's a principle that he can just apply wherever he thinks it should fit, right? And my statement to him is going to be the same statement to you. The onus is going to be on you, even if someone were to grant your theological position of Matthew 19, that there are laws that Yahweh says, I'm going to allow the people to do this in my law. You would have to make the connection between divorce in Matthew 19 and Deuteronomy 24 and what she's asking you about here in Leviticus 21. So go ahead.
What correlation is there? What are you talking about? She's asking me about.
There isn't one.
You're trying to claim, Preacher, you're trying to claim that Leviticus 21:9 was not given by God, but was given by Moses. And the way you're
I never said
that
that. I never said that. I said, who's talking here? Right? That's what I said. I said I have to go back and look who's talking here. I never said that. You guys are so dishonest.
Okay,
and
great. So that's a concession. So now that we know that it's Yahweh, go ahead.
I said it was God, and you were like, no, and started arguing. What was this entire fucking tangent about if you didn't disagree with me?
Okay. So, all right, let's get back to the substance of this here, right? So, yes, that's what it says. Yeah. So if the daughter is, I forgot the word that's used, but basically playing some kind of whoredom status, she should be burned. Yeah. Okay.
No comment on that? Just okay?
Oh yeah. That's what God, that was the law given to those people at that time. Yeah. You're asking me whether I agree with it or disagree with it? Is that your position?
Sure. Yeah. Do you see anything wrong with it?
Yeah. So if you ask me, I wouldn't enact that. No.
Okay, if that law was given to you, would you follow it?
Yeah, I would. I personally would have a hard time. Just like if God somehow spoke to me and say, "Hey, sacrifice one of your." Yeah, my faith, I would have a hard time doing that. Yeah, I would. What does that prove?
It shows that your God's not all he's cracked up to be. If he's supposed to be this perfect moral standard, yet he gives a law where women are to be burned to death for being promiscuous, then he is not a perfect moral standard.
Okay, and what's the measuring stick you're using for perfect moral standards?
Yeah, it's actually pretty binary whether or not one says it's good to burn women alive.
What do you mean it's binary? Break that down.
Yeah. So either you are cool with women being burned alive, or you're not cool with women being burned alive. And that's kind of my measuring stick for whether or not a moral system sucks, right?
Yeah, you just give a circular argument. What makes it suck, in your word?
Like if it blows. Because, like, women... Stick with me here. I'm gonna get pretty complicated. Women are people. You with me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. They are moral agents. They have, like, rich internal lives. They have aspirations. They have subjective experience. They feel pain. So burning them alive, one of the most torturous deaths possible for a human being, is a big ol'...
Again, you give a circle argument. Why is it bad?
Do you think it's bad, Breacher?
We're not talking about what I
No,
think.
no, we're
I'm
talking
asking
about
for
this. Do you think
justification.
it's bad? Yeah, do you think it's bad?
Are you pivoting, sir? Are you running?
Yeah, do you think it's bad?
I'm asking for a justification
Do
why it's
you
bad
think it's bad?
outside of God.
Do you think it's bad?
God
I
thinks
won't
it's
allow a
good,
pivot without a
apparently.
concession.
Yeah, yeah.
God
Do you think
thinks
it's bad?
good.
I won't allow a pivot without a concession.
Okay,
What's the
sure.
justification? Of it's bad?
Sure. My poor widow atheist. I don't have a God to appeal to give me my morality. Now, your God says it's good to burn women alive. So if your moral standard comes from your God, tell me again what you think about burning women alive.
Okay, so just to be clear, you have no justification why it's bad?
Yeah, me no know. So your God likes burning women alive. So, what's your opinion on it if he's your perfect moral standard?
Okay, yeah, awesome. Well, taking the measuring stick you give me as me don't know why it's bad, then yeah, then what? Then it's good to God. I don't get it. How you
Yeah,
justify
but if
good to
it's
you,
good
then?
to God, if it's good to
You
God
see how
and you
dumb this
follow
argument is?
and you follow God's perfect moral standard, what then must you think about it?
Right. So I'm going off the measuring stick that you said that you use to measure God action being bad, and
But
me don't know.
we're internally critiquing here. So
Oh,
in the
why did you say
Bible,
that? Okay.
in the Bible,
okay.
God said,
Yeah.
"Hey, Breacher,
I'm sorry. Forgive me. Go
quiet
ahead.
coyote, thank you."
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So in the Bible, your God gives an order for these women to be burned.
Yeah.
So God considers this to be something that is permissible at the least, but more probably something that is good because he is supposed to be perfect good. So if your God, your perfectly good God, says, "Hey, burn women alive," what must your moral standard be regarding the burning of women?
Okay, so am I jumping out of the internal critique and enacting my own moral standard, or are we still doing internal critique? Are we still within the parameters of the
Are you
Bible?
saying, well, in the parameters of the Bible, God is the perfect moral standard. So if you
Awesome.
get your morals from God, then your morals must align with God. If God's morals are burning women alive is good, then what must your moral standard be?
Yeah,
Burning women
so if I
alive
move,
is...
right, so you're not being
Burning
intellectually
women
honest.
alive is...
Yeah,
Burning
being
women
intellectual.
alive is blank. Fill in the blank here for the big prize. Ding, 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 ding. Breacher, can you do it? Burning women alive is blank.
Yeah, I already told you that it left it to me. I wouldn't enact that. I told you that.
Oh, that's too many words. Burning women alive is blank. If you don't get it right, I'm going to have to throw it over to our other contestant here, Dr. Bowen. So, Breacher, I'll give you one more chance. Burning women alive is blank.
Like, are we in the 5th grade here? Like, what's going on?
Incorrect. Dr. Bowen, can you fill in the blank for us? Burning women alive is...
Horrifically immoral.
That's correct.
By what
Wow.
justification?
See how
Awesome.
fucking easy that was, Breacher? Wow.
Awesome. Let's break it down. By what justification?
Yeah, Breacher, I think you're missing what's happening here. Breacher, I think you're missing what's happening here. What do you think about slavery, Breacher?
Oh God. Okay, so this is what I think, right? That's what I think. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do you guys a favor. I'm gonna put my biases aside, and I'm gonna.
No, I just want you to answer the question. What do you think about
answer,
slavery?
bro,
What do you
bro,
think
just
about
hear me
owning
out.
people as
I'm
property and passing
I
one's
literally say I'm
inheritance to
gonna
your
put my
children?
bias. I literally say I'm putting
Yeah,
my
I just
biases.
want, I don't need you to give all this meta. I just want you to answer my question.
Hey, yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm putting my biases aside. I'm gonna answer your question. Could you calm down? Right. But I'm gonna
Can you
ask that
answer?
but I'm gonna ask that you put your biases aside. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I think I think slavery is bad.
Great. How do you square that with Leviticus 25:44-46?
Awesome. And hear me out, right? Just like the host says, hear me out. Stay with me. Right. If I'm doing internal critique on the Bible, then within the parameters of the Bible, there's an all-powerful God that created everybody, right? And without him, nothing would have been created, right? So hear me out now, within the parameters of the Bible, you don't have to believe it. We're not talking about you believing it, right? We're within the Bible. Right, okay, hold on. This is where intellectual honesty comes in. Within the parameters of the Bible, just like if I was in like manner, if I was reading a comic book about a guy named Clark Kent and I see him jump off a roof, I can't jump out the comic book and say, why would this guy named Clark Kent jump off the roof? He's such an idiot. Oh, wait, within the parameters of the comic book, Clark Kent can fly. He's Superman. Okay, within the parameters of the Bible, God can, he made you. He has the authority to unalive you. He can still communicate with you while you're unalive from the flesh. He can resurrect you within the parameters of the Bible, right? This is where intellectual honesty comes in.
Preacher, we know what an internal critique is.
Yeah, thank you for the
right?
fucking
You're the one that
sonnet.
hasn't known. So if you're going to answer the question now, how do you, preacher, now that you've done all this meta, right? You've given all these truisms. Now tell me, how do you, someone who by your own standard, thank God, doesn't think that owning people as property is a moral thing, how do you square Leviticus 25, 44 to 46?
Basically, if you're saying that the internal, like, if we're following an internal critique and we're using the internal logic of the Bible, God, again, is the perfect moral standard. So any law or moral that God gives must also be perfect. So for you to be logically consistent, you would have to say then that the laws given in Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, where God talks about taking slaves from foreign nations and passing them down as property, as inheritance, you must say that that is perfectly moral in order to be logically consistent with your own theology. That's what we're saying here.
You have to say be logically consistent that it's moral within the parameters of the Bible.
So do you think it is moral? You're saying you were previously saying it wasn't moral. Are you now saying it is moral?
Stop doing the halfway internal critique, sis.
We're asking you to do the
I'm
internal
asking you-
critique. We're asking you to stay within the frameworks of your
awesome.
own narrative.
Okay, yeah.
So do it.
Okay, yeah. So
is it a moral command?
It is a moral command.
Great. That's all we were asking for. Thank you.
Yeah, within the parameters of the Bible. God made these people, and he could do what he wants to.
Right. So God can give immoral commands by your lights.
He can what?
Give immoral commands by your lights.
I said it's moral. I didn't say immoral. What are you talking about?
He said by
things
your
that
lights.
you think are immoral. You think immoral slavery is immoral, right?
So out of the Bible now?
Now stepping outside of the internal logic of the Bible, you hold viewpoints contradictory to the Bible, yet claim to get your morality from the Bible. That is logically inconsistent.
This is not that complicated.
Cope laughing is not going to help you. Also, this is the worst fucking day you could have possibly decided to defend slavery.
For real.
How am I
didn't even intend to talk about slavery today, but here you are saying, yeah, it was moral within the parameters of the Bible for God to let people be owned as property. The fuck?
And it's not?
Yikes.
Within the parameters of the Bible, it's not? Host, be honest. Within the parameters of the Bible, it's not?
Like, do you realize you're doing slavery apologetics?
Oh my gosh.
You're calling slavery moral.
Oh, can I try to help you, preacher? Let's take it out of something contentious, okay? Let's try to reset here. If I were to read to you from a 9th century royal inscription of the Neo-Assyrian king Shalmaneser III, right? And I were to read to you where the god Asher, the Neo-Assyrian god, says to Shalmaneser, I want you to go and fight against my enemies here, because they have rejected my benevolent arm, right? I've offered them vassalage, they haven't taken it, they've rebelled against me. And so I want you to go and I want you to take swords and slice open pregnant women, right? And that's what I want you to do. Now, by the lights of the narrative, right? You with me? By the lights of the narrative, if we're doing an internal critique, Asher gave a command. The king is fulfilling that command. And Asher is a just and righteous God. Therefore, by the lights of the narrative, that was a good action for the king to do. Yes?
I'm following.
Okay. Does that make it a good action by our lights?
Oh, by our lights, no.
Okay, right. That's all we're saying. As a human, right, that owning people as property is fuck shit. You know that.
Eloquently put.
Thank you. Thank you. So when we go to the biblical text and by the internal logic of the narrative, it is a moral thing to do, which is what we're pointing out, that there's a problem here. You know, owning people as property is wrong. The Bible, in the laws in the Hebrew Bible, in several different places, says no, owning people as property is not immoral. That's what we're trying to point out.
Yes, sir. I was well aware of what you're trying to point out. What I'm pointing out is your inconsistency of not playing by the rules of internal critique. That's all I've demonstrated here today, right?
No, we very clearly, just like you played by the if I were to ask you, hey, according to the internal, look, let's do it. According to the internal logic of the narrative, was Shalmaneser III doing a good, righteous thing by slicing open pregnant? Okay.
Yes.
So you have just fulfilled the internal logic of the narrative. Now, if I were to ask you, now look, step outside of that for a second and say, do you agree with that? Is that some piece of shit fuckface stuff? You would say, oh, that's some piece of shit fuckface stuff. Right?
Yeah, but then I would...
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Okay, awesome. Now that we're on the same page, what's your justification that God is evil?
Let's just, I'm going to entertain it for a second. Let's say I don't have one. Hey, you're giggling like a schoolgirl, which, I mean, live your best life, but it's not helping you, right?
So it's just your opinion.
So I said, let's grant,
He hasn't given
right?
his argument yet.
Let's just say I'm not a philosophy person, right? I'm not a moral philosopher. I don't do ethical philosophy, right? So let's say I haven't thought about that. I just think that things like grape and schmurder and owning people as property, that's piece of shit fuckface stuff, right? And I sleep well at night like that. You seem to agree with me, right? You think those things are bad, right? It should not take this long for you to...
I thought you were still making a point. That's a question.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that was a question.
Oh yeah. So
okay.
I personally don't wouldn't encourage owning anyone as slaves. Yes.
But you would have stood with the abolitionists and said that's immoral, right?
Knowing what I know slavery to be. Yes.
Okay. I mean, you don't think that. Sorry, I hate to press this. You don't think that there's ever a justification for one person to own another person as property and pass them on as inheritance to their children?
Okay, the passing on the inheritance to the children part got me, but owning as property, yes, there's justification for that.
Okay. This makes me very uncomfortable.
Ask me how.
I don't want to ask you how.
I don't want to ask you how
I'll tell you anyway. It's called a prison system.
Yeah.
That's still bad.
Yeah. I don't like the prison system, but I doubt you do either. But that's not from an academic position or perspective. These are things that in a Venn diagram, there's overlapping parts of the circles, but one would not be considered slavery proper.
Wait. So, but just to be clear, because you guys made that face when I said the prison system is, they literally legally see the prisoners as slaves.
And it's not justified. It's not good.
Yeah, and nobody.
I dislike that. What the fuck?
Right, that's your opinion. What's your justification for disliking it?
Right, but okay. This is why This is where this is getting scary. Honestly,
it's just your opinion against the prison system's opinion.
Yeah, fine. Welcome to the world that we live in. But this is where if you're saying that you get your morality as a Christian from, let's say, divine command theory, or let's say from just God's nature, or whatever it is that you get it from, based on the biblical texts, would you say that's fair? One of those?
Yeah, no. So if you're asking me, even the stuff that we read that's something being described. That's something being prescribed how Christians should live. That's what I believe.
Well, but can God give immoral commands?
No, he cannot.
No. Right. So anything that he commands, you're going to have to ultimately say, even if I by like my 21st century moral perspective think, oh, that's fuck shit, I'm going to have to say, it's moral. It's a moral command. So like Leviticus 19, 20 to 22, when, the law says that if a man goes and has sexual intercourse with a slave woman who has been betrothed to someone else but hasn't been freed yet, right? That there's no penalty for that, save going and offering a ram, right? Which is the same sacrifice that's offered for sin that you didn't realize that you committed.
Okay, so, man, as an atheist, this just reduced to a battle of opinions of morals.
We're not talking about as an atheist.
Right. But that's all that's happening here. Your opinion against someone else's.
No. All that's happening here is I'm saying if you're basing your morality on this text from 2,500 years ago,
it's
you're
being
not.
Described. That's an event that was described.
I don't know how you say that in light of Leviticus 26 or Deuteronomy 28.
Sure,
like were the Israelites allowed to say no, we don't have to do this?
Right. So, are you asking me about me or the Israelites?
The Israelites.
Okay. You said that I got my morals from that. I don't. What are you talking about?
I said you got them from God. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the God that's described in the biblical texts.
Yes.
Okay. So can God do if it's 2,000 years ago? Can God do something immoral?
No, he cannot.
Okay, then you're going to have to say that whatever God did, whatever God commanded, whatever God prescribed to whomever was moral.
Yes, by his standard, not mine.
Right.
Okay. I'm tired of this fucking scary go-round. Breacher.
Yeah, I know.
Either you agree with the Bible and you get your morals from the Bible, or you don't. You keep changing your answer every time you're questioned. Also, it sounds like you might be driving.
Change my answer.
Are you driving?
Currently, I am. Hold on.
Nope. Sorry. Can't have that. You cannot drive while streaming. Duh.
I am so sorry if I stepped on you.
No, you're good. Thank you for coming
I feel
up.
like
He wasn't going to listen to me. Appreciate you. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to
drop
your
me down.
ass.
Thank you so much for letting me come up.
Give him a follow. And I'll see you around.
Take care.
All right. I have someone. Ooh, let's see. All right, over on the link tree. Hello there. Is it pronounced Hansel or Hansel?
Hansel.
Hansel. All right, Hansel. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Sweet.
How about you?
I'm doing well. You use he him pronouns, is that correct?
I guess, yeah.
Alrighty. So I have here that you are a Christian with a little bit of Lutheran and a little bit of Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
I'm a former Baptist myself. So what are your thoughts? I say that the Bible creates toxic men.
No, people are just toxic. If they followed the Bible, they wouldn't be toxic.
They wouldn't be toxic if they followed the Bible.
Yes.
Okay. Last guy followed the Bible. Would you describe him as toxic?
I didn't hear what he said.
Gotcha. Well, he defended slavery because God ordered for the Israelites to get slaves from the nations around them. So he said that
God
moral.
ordered that men who steal other men should be put to death.
Yeah, so that's kind of misinterpreting the intention of that verse. That is talking about...
Are you saying that people who steal men shouldn't be put to death?
That's not what I said, and if you'd let me finish my sentence, you would hear what I was saying. So what I was saying was that verse is actually about those who initially kidnap free people and force them into slavery. So it does not prevent you from buying people who are already enslaved, nor does it prevent you from taking slaves that were war captives. And taking slaves from conquest was like one of the more common ways to obtain. So
How should we treat those people who are in those systems?
According to Exodus 21:20 through 21, you can beat them with a rod to the point of near death as long as they don't die within 1 to 2 days. According to Leviticus
could you
20
say the verse?
again, you mean?
You didn't read it verbatim.
Okay, you want me to read it? It is what I just said.
Yes, please.
Okay. When a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives
That
a
is
day or
good.
two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
And it says that exactly?
Yeah, I just read it.
What's the verse?
Exodus 21:20 through 21.
21:20
through 21.
Oh, mine doesn't say that.
Well, what translation are you reading? I'm reading the NRSVUE.
King James?
Sorry.
If a man,
My God, I
if
don't
a
think I've
man
ever done
smite his,
an
if a
actual
man smite
spit
his
take.
servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
Yeah, so that's the meaning is the same.
I don't see that.
You don't see that.
No.
Okay, so according to the translation you just read, what happens if someone strikes their male or female slave with a rod and they die immediately?
Well, they'll be punished to death.
And if the slave survives a day or two, is there punishment?
No.
Why not? Because what?
Because if you punish someone and they don't die, that's fine. You can
No,
punish your
why?
children.
Why is there no punishment if the slave survives?
Because they didn't die?
Read the end of the verse. Out loud.
For he is his money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's under his contract. You're allowed to punish your employees.
Okay, so
garnishing wages. You know?
he is the money. He is the property, the capital of the owner.
He is his money, so it's under his contract.
Yeah, his,
right?
In this case, is the owner.
Do you punish your employees?
The slave is the owner's money.
No, it doesn't say that.
That's what you just read, Hansel.
I understand, but if you're under someone's contract, if you are under someone's contract, you have to follow their rules. And if you break them, you get punished. Do you punish your employees?
What? Not by beating them to near death?
Okay, so then you don't have to be put to death.
What the fuck, dude? So you say, well, that's not what my version says, and I went through step by step of what my translation says, and you agreed to all the exact same things. Do you agree that in this context, a slave owner is not punished for beating their slave if they don't die immediately?
What do you mean? If they die another day, then they won't be punished?
That's what it says.
It doesn't say that.
If the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
It doesn't. It says, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
If the slave continues a day or two, that is, dies another day, a different day, then the owner...
For a different reason?
Then the owner shall not be punished.
For a different reason?
It doesn't ever say about the reason.
Well, it would have to be, because if he didn't die from the owner doing it, then that would fall under the first part of the verse.
It just says, it's just talking about immediacy, if he dies as an immediate result.
No. It says if he dies under his hand. And if he continues a day and then dies, it wasn't under his hand.
which means if it's not the immediate cause.
If you get hit by a car and then you die 2 days later from something unrelated to the car, it's not the person in the car's fault.
But if you die a week later because of a beating you received, from complications, from internal bleeding,
then it would be under his hand, and then he would be
It would not be under
punished
his
for it.
hand because it happened a week ago.
No, it was because of him then, so he would be punished.
That's not what the scripture says.
It says under his hand he shall be punished.
Okay,
if
first
that
of all,
happens
you're
now
going
or later,
off of a terrible fucking translation. The
No,
meaning of the
it's
verse
pretty-
is if
you
the slave
understood what it to be
dies
meaning.
immediately as
No,
a
it said
direct
under his
result of
hand.
this. You're going off of a verbatim thing here. KJV is not a
If a
direct
man smite, if a man smite his servant or maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall surely be punished. It gives no time frame. If he lives a couple of days and then dies, and it wasn't because of what the master did,
Is there
will
any
be
translation
free.
that's not a pile of shit that you do like?
I mean, you understood it when you
but
supposedly
KJV
corrected
sucks,
me,
and
but I like
almost,
the KJV.
Yeah, KJV sucks ass. Is there a different translation you like?
I thought we were talking about toxicity, not translations.
Well, you're the one complaining.
We can agree.
You're the one complaining that you're the one complaining that your KJV. Oh, hold on. Someone might have just saved us. Yeah, sorry, Hansel, you gotta go. We had someone send the 5 to kick with the message. Please, I can't take this again. It's Juneteenth. I guess that was God Sparkles. Thank you. Yeah, I was getting tired of that too. While I'm at it, I've got some super chats to read. We got another one from Sir String, who sent, I believe that's Canadian dollars. Ooh, it's very polite and smells vaguely of maple. We've got one from, I'm not sure if that's Marduk or Marduk. Either way, it's Duck and Cool. Sent a super chat with a heart emoji. And then, a couple of super chats that are just strange from someone with the username Pooh and then a bunch of numbers. Not gonna read those out. Honestly, I'm not sure you're an adult, so I'm gonna remove you. There we go. Thank you for the money, but that was very strange. Oh. Sorry, gotta do something in the Discord server real quick. Where are we? There we are. If you don't know, we've got a Discord server. Check out the link tree. Boop, boop. And it seems like that's the same person who was sending the weird super chats. Well, they are gone now. Wonderful. But thank you guys. Appreciate the interaction. Martha, goodness, you shared with so many people. Hey, you there? Joshua? Alright, I cannot hear you. You're welcome to re-request. Religions are certainly not crafted to rid themselves of toxic behavior. Usually they facilitate it, yeah. Hansel, you're allowed to chat if you follow the chat rules. People were just done listening to you defend slavery. Oh, well, happy early birthday, God Sparkles. A heathen solstice baby. Hell yeah, that's cool as fuck. I usually don't celebrate my birthday, though if you are a multi-time viewer, you may have heard me talk about how I want to do a cabaret with friends for my birthday this year, which if I did do it would be streamed. Y'all lied to me on my Tipsy stream. You said that the music was synced up with my singing. It was not. It was not. My goodness. I went back and listened and I'm like, I sound absolutely insane. Boy. You guys made me think that it was going to sound reasonable, and then I went back to the replay. Just, no. But maybe I'll do that little birthday cabaret, and the music will be synced up to the vocals. That was fun. I did enjoy that stream. It did lead to me being vaguely hungover on a Wednesday, which is not something that I can remember ever experiencing before. So that is interesting. Oh, you saw Stevie Nicks on your birthday? That's so cool. She was my hair inspo. You might be able to tell. Yeah, I enjoy the Tipsy stream, and I saw earlier some people were complimenting our little goat friend here. Well, if you like Psy the Robot Goat, you can get Psy the Robot Goat on shirts and hoodies and pins. Just check out the link tree. There is a merch link. And there you can get some Psy merch. I got a shirt that I really like. Rat Soup has a shirt that he likes. And then I also ordered a shirt for my artist friend who created Psy. Because I wanted to make sure that none of my channel art ever is AI generated. So it is all made by real people. Always. Same with my background. I made sure it wasn't AI generated. So, look, I support humans making art. So if you ever catch me using AI, it's probably an accident, so let me know. Or call my ass out. Because I shouldn't be doing that shit. If I'm gonna be a queer artsy theater kid, how the fuck would I support a computer making art rather than a person? That's the end of that rant. Hey, welcome back up, Joshua.
Hey, what's going on? Peace and blessings to you.
Hey there. So, are you above 18?
Yes.
And if chat were going to refer to you, would they call you a he, a she, a they, something else?
Yeah, he.
Wonderful. What is your religion or lack thereof?
Lack thereof. Lack thereof. I finally escaped.
Nice, nice. Well, I do typically only talk to non-believers on Sundays, but if you got a quick thing to say about the topic, I'll talk with you about it.
Well, I don't believe the Bible creates toxic men, but I do believe people's interpretation of the Bible is what creates that toxicity.
Okay. So you were here earlier when we were reading some of the Bible verses about like slavery and burning women. What are your thoughts on those?
I think those things are all the illustration of how somebody in the last days is going to teach us what to eat, teach us what to sacrifice and what to offer. And I think people have read that and literally tried to apply these things, not realizing that these are a collection of dreams and visions talking about something that's going to come to pass.
Okay. I don't know if I have the energy to try to get you to explain any of your worldview.
Well, it's fine. I can always follow you and catch you next time you go live.
Yeah, I just... So, you say you don't have a religion.
Correct.
Do you think that Christ is our supreme authority?
Yes. but not in our imagination. See, Christ that's written about in the Bible is actually...
Do you have a religion?
No. So the religion that the world follows are fairy tales. They follow somebody that they never met, somebody that they never seen and never heard. My stance is simple. The Bible is true. It's just that it was meant to come to pass in the last days. So there is actually a person that's walking the earth that's fulfilling the role that Christ, well, that was written about Christ in the Bible, and that's actually taking place now.
Who is it?
His name is Yaju Judah.
That sounds like a knock-knock joke.
I understand. But he's actually not joking. He's been speaking for about the past 10 years, and now he's actually made the move to Ethiopia. That's where he's establishing the world headquarters.
Yeah. You're in a cult.
Well, I agree that everybody that's in a church is in a cult because they're being led nowhere but to a book to practice reading.
Yeah, but you're very specifically... You are in a cult. It's very interesting because there's not going to be very much that I can do to get through to you. Here's the thing. I don't know how I feel about the term, like, brainwashing, because I feel like that takes away the agency of the people who, like, actually do buy into these cults. Because the people from, like, Heaven's Gate or, like, Jonestown, they had agency, right? They were adults. They had their own internal lives. They made those choices to become a part of that cult. Now, that's not to say that there's no power in indoctrination, because it is possible for people to become, heavily indoctrinated, for cults to use manipulative tactics to separate their members from reality. But I feel that it would be irresponsible for me to have you on my platform, seeing as how I believe that you are legitimately part of a cult, and that's very concerning. So I don't really care to have you up here.
Well, all I'm saying is there's no point in reading the Bible if...
Bye. Yeah, that's a lot. He's got some religious psychosis going on. So we don't have time to unpack all of that. This cult's got an online presence, apparently.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
I would guess I would like to be referred to as he, him.
You would guess, or you know?
I don't really care too much about my gender identity.
Okay, what should I call you?
Just call me Bob, the Bobster. My username, whatever.
Alright, and you over 18?
Yes.
Sweet. So, Bobster, what's your religion or lack thereof?
Well, I would describe it's not describe myself as. I am a practicing Catholic.
Great. I would say the Bible creates toxic men.
I would say that's a bit of an odd claim.
How long have you been in the stream, by any chance?
The stream, I would guess 10 minutes, 15, maybe.
Okay. Did you hear the guys who were, like, defending slavery on behalf of the Bible?
No, I was not.
Yeah, we've had a couple guys tonight defending slavery on behalf of the Bible. So I would say that's, like, one example, right? Because they feel that they can't criticize anything that their God does. So they have to come up with justifications for atrocities like slavery or burning women alive.
Some people definitely do try to use religious being. But can I? Do you know who John Brown is? I'm pretty sure you know who John Brown is.
Well, I'd like to ask you a couple things first, just to clarify, because you're talking about the way that they're handling the Bible. Just, do you condemn the rules about slavery in the Bible?
I do not agree with slavery, no.
Okay, so can you say that you condemn the way that God commands sometimes, allows other times slavery.
I would say that slavery is a mortal evil.
Great. I'm asking you to condemn the fact that God allows / commands slavery. Can you condemn that for me?
I think you're trying to pull me into like a weird trap here.
It's not really a trap, just like a pretty direct question, because, like, can you condemn the fact that the God of the Bible very clearly, on multiple occasions, condones and or commands slavery? Can you condemn that?
I would say, if to give you a definitive answer, I would say that I would condemn it, in a sense.
Great. So you are in disagreement with your God. That's not an accusation, that's a clarification.
Disagreement with my God. Because I think what you're trying to get me to do is to say, well, if you're a practicing Catholic, then why are you disagreeing with God? And so therefore, you're not religious. Or if I do say, well, then you would say that I'm justifying slavery, which I would not be doing.
Well, if you do not condemn someone allowing or commanding slavery, you would be justifying slavery.
Okay. Let me just make my position on slavery clear, for the instance.
Okay.
In the religious book, especially in the beginning of the Bible, God does clearly command that the nation of Israel is to take captive of the nations that it conquers. Now, the reason for this, or at least the debated reason for this, is that warfare was conducted in an odd fashion. As you know, warfare was commonly conducted in order to basically gather resources for resources, especially those of slaves. Now, we could definitely say that that is bad, but God also does other things which we kind of find odd. God does not just condemn evil, but he also quite literally prescribes things to be done about it. And that's not just condemnation, but that's also things which we would see as evil, and which God even calls evil. But God says that if this evil is done, then it must be handled in this specific fashion. So what I am basically saying is that we cannot necessarily call the slavery that God prescribed in the Bible as the slavery as we know it today.
It was.
Chattel slavery.
Yeah, it was chattel slavery.
Chattel slavery?
Yep.
Chattel slavery wasn't really a thing until like the 1600s.
It might not have been called that, but it was the same practice. Where does the word chattel come from?
Chattel means livestock, essentially.
No, that would be cattle. Chattel, it goes back to the word for capital. It's the practice of owning people as property. So if it is a system of slavery where people are owned as property, then it is chattel slavery.
The Romans did not practice chattel. I believe when we're referring to chattel slavery, we're also meaning the continuous enslavement of their descendants.
Chattel slavery is the practice of owning people as property.
And you're just saying slavery. That's like saying chai tea.
I said chattel slavery.
Yeah, slavery. Owning people.
Chattel
and then
comes
owning
from the
people.
word
like
that means
slavery
capital,
is the practice of
not
owning
slavery.
people, and chattel would be also the practice of owning people.
Slavery would be forced labor without compensation. Chattel slavery is specifically a system of slavery in which people are owned as property and don't have the same rights as other persons. They could be bought and sold as property. They could be passed down as inheritance.
Yes? Okay. if I would like to go back to my point.
Yeah, sure, pivot away.
All right. I think the only thing here that we can necessarily say is that if you are familiar with John Brown, right? You're familiar with John Brown.
Abolitionist?
Yes. Do you know what was his primary motivation for being against chattel slavery?
I would say that equal to the amount of people who used Christianity to advocate for abolition were those who used Christianity to advocate against it.
Okay, so then it would be very weird that two people who would believe in Christianity have such a different conception on if slavery is morally justifiable or not, right?
Not really, because I just told you that equal to the amount of people that were using it to justify abolition were using it to justify slavery. So no, that's not unusual. That would be in line with what I just said.
Yes.
I think I just broke your script a little bit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
I would say that if two people of the same religion find one act and find the moral perception of an act so different, and these people practice the same religion and are feel justified, then I would say that their religion is not the primary reason, or essential part of that religion is not the primary reason on why they believe that. If John Brown, a radical, a very devoted Presbyterian, was extremely against slavery, but you also have many people in the South who are also as religious, also justifying slavery, using the same reasons, then I would say that it's more to do with what they already personally believe about slavery, rather than anything to do with the Bible.
I would say for abolitionists, it is more about what they believe than what's actually in the Bible, because the Bible never once condemns slavery.
Never one. Oh. Well, the way that they saw it, it's a whole thing. It's like 3 paragraphs of, I don't know, like stuff, but basically,
what?
Okay, so
what? No,
there's this idea in Christianity that Jesus made all nations his nation, and that specifically in the Bible, it's when they practice slavery against other nations, it's because they're like idol worshippers or something like that. You're only allowed to slave people because of their specific devotions, right? So when Jesus came down, he basically made everyone part of this whole thing. So therefore,
where does the Bible condemn slavery?
In the same way that like it condemns abortion. Can't really say like there's a specific line.
And in fact, that's correct, because it in fact does the opposite. Because the Bible shows
I know about the test of bitter water.
Oh, not even the bitter water. In Exodus, the killing of a fetus is a property crime.
Yeah.
If it were considered a life, then it would be the same as when you kill a human being, but instead it's seen as a property crime to kill a fetus. So, yeah, I would say it is similar to abortion in that the Bible is actually...
doesn't outright say a claim against it.
Never condemns it.
We also see a lot of other things.
But does condone it. So...
I would also like to mention that the Bible, or at least some religions see it, or at least some sects of Christianity see it, the Bible is mostly to be interpreted by essential authority rather than a...
And that's not as much true in Protestantism.
Yes. I mean, I would say that all people are... essentially, that slavery is bad. But again, your central claim is that the Bible creates toxic men.
Yeah.
I would find it that we cannot definitively say that something in the Bible uniquely creates bad people. We know that all philosophies and all religions, no matter how good, we find it, does not necessarily automatically conclude the moral findings of that people.
Why do you think I said toxic men rather than toxic people?
I don't know, like you're focusing on like patriarchy or stuff like that.
Do you think that there are patriarchal values in the Bible?
I mean, yeah, especially in the Old Testament, yes.
Yeah, so because the Bible upholds these values of the patriarchy, that contributes to the creation of toxic men.
I would say that. Well, I mean, you could also say the same of other philosophical that don't even talk about patriarchy. I mean, there's other philosophical.
Yeah, but I wasn't a part of like a different religion for almost 2 decades, so I talk on what I know. You know.
Well, that's fine. I mean, like, there's a female deacon in the New Testament in Paul's letters.
Ooh.
I would find that.
And what happens?
What happens? She's given a lot of authority and praise for her devotion.
Yeah. It's very rare for a woman to even be given a name in the Bible. The ones that are given names are usually just part of a man's story. The women are generally seen more as objects than as people. And that's a prolific problem throughout the Bible. They don't have agency. They are not the central part of the story typically. Like, there are rare exceptions, but overwhelmingly women are relegated to these positions of being like nameless support for the men that they are the daughters of or married to.
Juliet's not married. I believe she's celibate.
Yeah, so like I said, there are exceptions to what I just said, but overwhelmingly, like, what's Lot's wife's name?
I mean, I'm not too familiar with the New Testament, especially about like stuff about Anamites and Moabites.
Sodom and Gomorrah, so it was not New Testament.
Yeah, I know.
Then why did you say New Testament?
I'm not too familiar with the Old Testament, my bad.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, there's a lot of details in there that, people can forget. There.
Okay. She's not given one.
Mm-hmm.
And we have examples like David's wives who were graped, to use TikTok language, by David's son as a punishment for David. Like, that's not great, because those are people. We don't get any of their names. They're just used as leverage to punish David. There's just consistent examples of women being stripped of agency in the Bible. So
it's Luna.
Sorry?
Luna, the little mascot the Catholic Church made last year. That's nice.
I don't really need to know what body pillows you have. We were talking about women in the Bible.
I don't have any body pillows, so.
All right. I have 5 other people lined up now between my 2 queues. Oh, he dropped on his own. Well. Fuck, we're up to 6. Okay, I think this person was next. Hey there, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, can you confirm your name for me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Why can I not hear?
Oh no.
Hold on. Let me go to my settings. Forgive me. Hello again?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, one last time. Hello?
Hello. All right.
Man.
I think you're going to have to call back.
What a killer. What a killer.
Yep. Appreciate you waiting. If you do come back, then let the call screener know, and they can let me know to bump you. Hey there, Thomas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of muffled. Is your mic pressed up against something?
No, I think it's just like the setting. The call screener had the same thing, but she said she was able to fix it like immediately, or they were able to fix. Sorry.
Okay, let me try. Hold on, I'm gonna reconnect your mic. Speak now.
Yep. Are you able to hear me?
It sounds the exact same. It's fine. So Thomas, you are a Christian.
Yes.
Well, the Bible creates toxic men. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't believe so. So, as a Christian, I believe that the Gospels are the gold standard for our morality. So that's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So those manuscripts specifically teach us, not to objectify women, to have this kind of good nature regardless of what happens to us. If someone's mean to us, still be good. Someone, is an enemy to us, to still treat them with love. I think that's an overall positive doctrine.
Gotcha. What does Jesus say about the old law?
He said that he came there to fulfill it.
But not to what?
Not to accept or agree with it.
No,
so
it was not to abolish it, but to fulfill it.
Right. So the wording specifically, right? So fulfill does not mean the same thing as to accept or to acknowledge. Jesus in the New Testament, he very rarely ever speaks directly. So what he's saying in that is that, and there's other passages that address the same essence too. Because throughout the New Testament, there are specific quotes that he affirms, and then specific quotes that he blatantly corrects and denies.
So in Matthew 5:18, when he says, "For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished." What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So Matthew 4:4, it says that you must follow the word of God, and the beginning of John says that Jesus is the word.
And Jesus is the one who says, "Not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven."
Right. So I believe that he's referring to the laws of Moses, and I think those laws are things that none of us can really disagree with. And then if you go on to Acts,
whoa! I'm sorry. The laws that we can't disagree with?
What do you mean?
You don't disagree with any of the laws of Moses?
Point out one that you disagree with.
Yeah, burning women alive if they have sex before marriage.
That's not one of the laws.
It is. It's Leviticus 21:9.
He's referring to the laws of Exodus. He's not referring to ceremonial or ritualistic law. He's referring to the 10 Commandments.
So he says the least of these commandments. That doesn't just mean the 10 Commandments.
Right, but when we go on to Acts, it very specifically lays out that these laws that you're referring to are to be abolished.
In Acts?
In Acts.
Is Jesus ever the one speaking in Acts?
It is his disciples that are speaking.
Is Jesus ever the one speaking in Acts?
No.
So I'm going to go with what Jesus says about what Jesus' intentions are.
Right, but he's saying his laws. So again, he specifies that he's the one who wrote the laws. And also, too, there are plenty of situations. So for the stoning example in the New Testament, when they're stoning the woman for being adulterous.
Which didn't happen and didn't appear in any manuscripts until centuries after it was supposed to have happened.
I would love the evidence and proof for that. However, what's in our teachings and what's in the New Testament is for him teaching not to do that. So your argument is that it's creating this negative culture of men, But
well, yeah, the passage in John 8 is an interpolation that is widely agreed upon because it didn't appear in any manuscripts until after like 200 CE.
Well, I think what you're doing right now is you're moving the goalpost because I'm kind of deconstructing and annihilating your point very thoroughly. Because
no, if that never actually happened, then we can't say that it's something that Jesus held to be true. We can't use it as an example of what Jesus thought if it didn't happen.
So your title was that it creates a culture of toxic men, correct or incorrect? Okay. So if the argument is whether this is real or not, then I would love to have that conversation. But that's not the conversation I'm prepared
But if
to
you're
have
trying, hold on, you're trying to use it as an example of Jesus not being a toxic man. But if it's not real, then that's not an example of Jesus not being a toxic man.
Well, I think that when you take any one quote out of its context and then put all the weight of everything in a 66 book of this huge compilation of manuscripts, and it's kind of disingenuous, and it doesn't really serve any other
You're
point.
The one trying to do that by saying, well, this one passage in John, which is an interpolation, Jesus says, oh, don't cast the stone on this woman unless like you're without sin, which doesn't really have to do with like men being toxic specifically, right? So when I'm talking about toxic men in the Bible, it's more about the patriarchal values in the Bible, about the portrayed supremacy of men in the Bible, and the fact that the Bible causes men to try to hold to God's moral standards instead of their own.
And the Bible also says, be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. It specifically says that murder is wrong in the New Testament. It specifically says that hurting people in any physical manner, even being angry at them, is wrong. It specifically says that if someone sues them to give them everything that you have, if they ask you to walk 1 mile, walk an extra. It says, do not objectify women. These are all things that the New Testament
don't objectify women. It just says, don't be horny. Different things. Because it does portray women as property. It does say that if you grape a woman, the punishment is paying her father a fine and then forcing her to marry you. It does say that if you take a woman as a war bride, you can have sex with her after you've given her a month to mourn. Yeah, this is the same fucking Bible, same God. This is your Jesus.
No, not same. Listen, here's the thing.
You're not a Trinitarian?
What I'm saying is that in the Bible...
Question dodge. Whew.
No, I am a Trinitarian, but
so that was Jesus, yeah.
That's your opinion.
Well, if God did it and Jesus is God, then Jesus did it. Quick little syllogy for you there if you're a Trinitarian.
The New Testament and its full context, it's very clear that Jesus is correcting the Pharisees.
I gotta play a little song. So 17 seconds of quiet.
Don't you know that the answer's in the context? You're never gonna get it with the context. I don't know what it means either, but the context. The answer must be hidden in the context. Don't ask me what the context is, but all I know is it's context.
That comes to us from Joel Reed's Bible, who is probably on with his best friend right now.
I've debated him before, yeah. No, I've talked to him in Mezzo before.
Oh, I bet they had a fucking field day with you.
Joel likes me. We're cool, I think. He knows that I have some good points. Because my thing is that I'm not affirming the Old Testament. So if your argument is that, hey, I have a problem.
So you don't believe Jesus is Messiah?
No, I believe Jesus is Messiah. I can believe that.
But that you would only have to have that point if you believe in the Old Testament.
But my understanding is that Jesus is correcting the Old Testament in the New Testament, which is
Except
why
he says, I'm not changing the old commandments whatsoever. I'm not changing a single letter or a stroke of a letter of the law. It's going to be the exact same forever. What do you mean?
He's not... But you have to be specific as to what he's referring to, because he's referring to his law. Because what he's correcting is the old interpretation of the law. Throughout the New Testament, he's redefining the terms of what the law actually was. Because the whole point, and let me just say this real quick, because in Jewish times, they had this understanding of sacrificing animals and sacrificing other things. If you look into Gehenna, there was a time that they were sacrificing kids, and even in the Old Testament, it says that it never entered God's heart for this to happen. So why did Jesus come down and die on a cross? The point that he was making was that when he was referring to sacrifice, is that what we needed to do was self-sacrifice, not in the grand bloody way he did necessarily, but to give ourselves to others. And the entire point of the New Testament is to be a good person. I genuinely believe that. If I didn't believe that, I wouldn't follow the Bible.
Then you need to reevaluate your beliefs, because you are textbook cherry picking here. You're saying, well, I like the parts where the Bible says be a nice person and treat others well. That's not Christian. That's
I don't think
just
I don't,
empathy.
I think it's not necessarily fair to look through the span of hundreds and hundreds of pages and to say, well, because you had a different interpretation of this text, therefore you're wrong. It's like he was not speaking directly the entire time, and he was speaking in a language that we're not speaking. So it's perfectly fair that multiple people will have different opinions, and I don't think that my opinions make me any less Christian than any other Christian. I believe that Jesus is God. I believe that he corrected the Old Testament. I don't think he was when he said fulfill, that means to pay the debts up. That means that doesn't mean agree. That doesn't mean validate. That doesn't
mean do away with either.
Well, fulfill means to pay the debt. So if I said I was here to fulfill your taxes, what do you think that would mean? It means that I'm paying the price of something.
Wouldn't be fulfilling taxes. It'd be more like fulfilling the speed limit.
So, but do you agree that he corrects the Old Testament? That is very clearly in the New Testament. He corrects.
I'm going to disagree, because Jesus himself says that not one letter nor stroke of a letter shall change from the law until...
Okay, so do you think it's contradictory when he corrects the Sabbath laws in Matthew, when he says, when they try to call him out, and then they try to call him out on ceremonial hand washing, and he corrects them on that too, and he says that what matters is what comes from the heart.
Hand washing was never a law, it was just a cultural practice. Part of what Jesus is critiquing is the fact that they treated cultural practices as if they were stated in the law, which they actually weren't. That is what he was critiquing.
But you quoted that same type of law from Leviticus when you were referring to like the stoning the brides and whatever.
That's not a ceremonial law. That would no.
It wasn't from the Ten Commandments.
First of all, no, sorry. The whole ceremonial, civil, moral, that's not a differentiation that's made in the biblical text itself. The hand-washing thing is not listed as a law anywhere in the Torah. It was a cultural practice. The stoning of women, as stated in Leviticus, was a law supposedly given from God himself. Right. That's very different from having a cultural practice of hand-washing.
Right. So I think that we can go back and forth all day on like the nuance of that one specific line of what you keep quoting, which is follow every letter of the law. But what I interpret and see that as, and that's genuinely not nitpicking, is that he makes the point over and over, my law, my law, my law. Like when they were stoning the woman, he kneels down and starts writing on the ground. And the reason that he does this is that he's saying that he was the one who wrote the laws on Mount Sinai. When you look in the Old Testament, when Moses is talking to God, Jesus is symbolically showing to them, he's like, I'm the one who wrote the law. So what he's trying to communicate is that the people are missing the heart of the points of what he was saying. And he says this in Matthew 2. He's like, you swallow camel, but you strain a gnat. So what do you think he's communicating by saying that? He's telling Jewish leaders this, who follow the Old Testament.
Yeah, so again, you are confusing what is given as actual law versus what was like cultural practice or ceremonial practice.
But Jesus,
not what was directly given as law. Dude, I let you monologue for like 2 fucking minutes. Let me get a sentence out.
All right, I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, you gotta go. You were voted off the island. That one, I believe, yep, that came from Crovis for, I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. And we got a lot of people waiting. Let's see. That was Thomas. Okay. Next up, we have someone who's been waiting on TikTok, and then back to the link tree. By the way, Crovis is once again our call screener for this evening. I would say perhaps a strong contender to win the raffle this month because Crovis has been call screener like every fucking night. So, yep, W Crovis in chat. Hell yeah. Let's see if this person's even still here. They might not be. Damn, someone just left like a minute before they would have been let on. Hey, Crovis, winning by default is still winning. Yeah, I don't think this person is here anymore. So that person who waited in queue for like 20 minutes should have just waited like 30 seconds more. But we got Jordan. Jordan, how's it going? You are muted, not on my end.
I'm doing great tonight. Sorry about
that.
There you
are. All right. So, Jordan, I have that you are a Christian, that you don't have a particular denomination. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, the Bible creates toxic men.
Hey, let's get an icebreaker off here. What state do you live in? I'm just curious.
Don't do that.
Well, I live in New York.
I live in a state of disappointment. So the Bible creates toxic men.
No, it doesn't.
Really? According to the Bible, who is the head of a married couple?
I don't know. I'm just a practicing Christian. I just
Well, have you read the thing?
No, I do not.
You don't read the Bible. Well, then how can you make a judgment over whether or not it creates toxic men if you've never read it?
Because they're fantastic people.
Is there an end to that sentence?
That's it. It's that simple. Now, you're a nigger. Shut up, nigger. Stay quiet.
Okay. That's the love of Christ right there. It's all right, Crovis. Jay, hello.
How's it going?
Going all right. You're a Lutheran, is that right?
That's right. Can you see me?
Well, I can, but no one else can.
Oh, that's okay. I was just wondering.
Well, that's by design, in case anyone tries to whip it out or something.
I just got done with the walk, so.
Okay.
I finished it while waiting.
Great. So, Bible creates toxic men.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, did you hear the last guy?
I can't hear anything when I'm waiting, so...
Gotcha. Yeah, a guy came up, claimed to be a Christian and started throwing around slurs.
That's not good.
Yeah. So according to the Bible, who is the head of a married couple?
The husband.
Do you think that creates a power
husbands,
imbalance?
Well, it's like husbands love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy.
And what does it say for the wives to do?
To submit to their husbands as the church submits to Christ.
It says fear their husband, but it does mean fear as in reverent respect. But that's not really given the opposite way, right? So the women are to fear and revere their husbands, but that's not a command that is given to the men.
Well, because it's a hierarchy, correct? We're supposed to fear God, and that's just the,
so hierarchy
from here to here to here,
Right, and I do want to make note for people who can't see
you shouldn't
be visually demonstrating that
you
men are
fearing
above women.
You shouldn't be fearing your children. They're supposed to be in
right, but why is it that men
parents.
are higher in that hierarchy?
I mean, if you're just going to question how God made it, I mean, that's your prerogative, but that's just the way he made it.
I don't think that is how things are. So I'm wondering why the Bible sets that system in place.
I guess I don't see evidence of things where if a woman is leading the household it necessarily always brings better results than if a man leads the household.
I'm not claiming it does either way. Why does there have to be a leader in the household? Why can they not be equal partners?
Well, I guess it bears out in just reality, right? Like,
No.
no, I mean, do you like do you prefer to do things that you would consider more manly?
Like what? First of all, I'm non-binary, so I'm a terrible person to ask that question.
Is there anything that you consider to be something you don't like that has a bigger what would you say, bigger affinity that a guy would like to do?
Yeah, I don't like cleaning my foreskin, so I get guys to do it for me. Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Okay. Yeah.
No, what I was asking, what do you like, what do you not prefer to do that is a more more something that more men would like to do that they have an affinity for? What is something that you don't like doing that they like doing?
I don't know what you're trying to ask here. Like what are you saying is something that like a man likes to do?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't assign those sorts of roles to like tasks.
Is there nothing that reality tells you that, maybe you like to do more than your husband or whatever does, or maybe you like to do more than he does, or he likes to do more than you do? Is there literally
I think it differs based on the person.
preferences?
I don't think there's any
There's nothing
dichotomy of
that
like
kind of
this is
like,
a I don't think there's like a
well,
manly
I'm not saying
chore.
dichotomy, but there's no like trend line of like things that women tend to like to do more or men tend to like to do more.
I don't know
In
about
your mind,
tend to
there's just
like
nothing
more.
that.
I'd say
Well,
there's definitely
I'm saying
somewhere
preference. Is
well, yeah,
there no like observable reality where?
So I'm not saying that there's not things that are expected more of like women or of men. Yeah, no one can hear you. Because we do live in a patriarchy, so there are things that are expected more of men or of women. That doesn't mean that those things are like preferable to certain genders. That's just what the expectations are, and that's built off of years of tradition, including this religious tradition. But I'd say that's not a good thing, and I'd say it has been better the further we have gotten from those rigid gender roles.
Hello?
Yeah.
So, I wasn't talking about what is expected. I was asking, do you see in your life anything that you like to do? What do you prefer to do more so than your partner who would be of a different, be a masculine partner? Is there something that you like to do as a feminine partner that maybe he does not?
Fucking listen. Okay, first of all,
I did, but I was
consider myself
muted.
You were muted, your ears weren't closed. First of all, I don't consider myself a feminine partner. Like I said earlier, I'm a non-binary person. I don't really prescribe myself to following specific
Do you lean
gender
one way or
roles.
the other?
No. I mean, I present
Do you
sometimes more
notice
femininely.
People who lean one way or the other?
Sometimes people have differing gender expressions. That's irrelevant.
Do you see any like trend lines that these more feminine type of people tend to do things differently than the more masculine
Again, if that
type
is
of
true,
people
it would
do?
be based off of expectations, not necessarily
I don't believe so.
preferences.
I believe people have innate desires.
You would have to substantiate that.
I mean, the reality that you look at every day. Do you not notice people doing things that they like to do more than they don't like to do?
No, I notice people doing things that they're expected to do more, sometimes just because they think they are expected to do so. You're just using anecdotal evidence. Give me any reason to believe.
I'm appealing to like just kind of what you see, right? Like I see people who like to do certain. I like to see people do certain things that they like to do. I don't assume like a motive behind it, that they're stuck in some rigid system that won't allow them to actually express what they want to express. I see people who genuinely enjoy the things they do. Do you genuinely enjoy to do things that are more feminine or more masculine? And do you notice certain people doing?
I don't think they are more masculine or feminine things. I don't think things are feminine. We ascribe those labels to them.
I
don't
think that's
they
just
are
that's
inherently
ad
okay.
hoc. That's an ad hoc kind of thing.
Is interrupting people constantly a masculine thing to do? Because you've got that down pat.
Yeah, I would say so. It's what I've noticed.
Great. That doesn't make it acceptable behavior, so I'm going to need you to be a
And no one
little
ever
bit
said
better
it
about
was.
that.
I apologize. I hope you can forgive me. I'll try not to do it.
I'm not sure I will. Yeah, so I would say, once again, a lot of these are based on expectation, not actual preference.
I mean, I feel like that's just kind of your opinion.
You're the one quite literally just giving opinions.
So it's just he said, she said?
No, I use they, them.
Just they said, he said?
Yeah,
I mean, do you understand the expression that I'm trying to, like, give you?
Right. I can give you, like, evidence of patriarchal expectations and how they've, like, systematically kept women down for literally centuries, how this very strict gender binary has impacted the expectations that we have for people based on the genders we perceive of them. I can show you, like, the breakdown of, like, domestic labor and how domestic labor is traditionally critically undervalued. Like, we can go through all that stuff.
Should it be
but you're
valued
saying,
higher?
but I one time saw a lady who liked to cook, so that must mean women be in the kitchen. Like, that's not convincing.
Who said that?
Me, and I did it in a really funny way. So
I mean, it's just a straw man, no?
well, are you not suggesting that there are certain things that women inherently like to do?
Yeah.
What would those things be?
I feel like women tend to like to raise children a lot more in a nurturing way, and men like to raise children in a lot more structured way.
All right. Bye. You've been voted off the island. That one came courtesy of Sassafras. Actually, two people at the same time. Sassafras and Tristan. One said... sorry, I'm not used to having Face ID on a phone. I got a new old phone. Sassafras said, drop this ass haberdasher. He's providing accessories for men's asses, I suppose. And Tristan said, whenever you're ready to kick this POSFF. And I was. So, thank you. Sassafras also sent a super chat that I don't think I've read yet that said, this is when I was talking to the Catholic guest about slavery. Sassafras said, the Catholic Church only just this year apologized for their role in the Atlantic slave trade. The church supported slavery. Yeah. Historically, the church did support slavery, did have a pretty significant role in the Atlantic slave trade, and resistance to abolition. So. Hey, Dr. Joe, how's it going? Let's see. Okay, I have one more guest in queue. So I'm gonna say no more for now. So just this one last guest for now. Let's see what is going on with Nate. Nate, you able to hear me?
Yeah, I am.
Wonderful. Nate, I have that you are a Christian with no particular denomination. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Wonderful. The Bible creates toxic men. What are your thoughts?
There's no...
Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Quick on the draw. Yeah, Crofus, you can go ahead and hop off the line. Hansel, people did send money to kick you. So. That's the $5 to kick rule. Yeah, he tried. But if you were wondering if the Bible creates toxic men, look at some of the real winners we've had in here tonight, huh? That guy called into Justin's live and showed his ass and balls. Well, all right. Interesting. All right, well, we've got a lot of people joining the server. We do have some security on it, so we'll check into that. Oh, did it like actually make it on the screen? Damn. People are fucking showing whole. Damn, that's crazy. Holes and poles. Well, I hope you all had a fun time tonight. I certainly did. Hey, Schley! I was just about to head off and go visit our friends. But yeah, Otter, you are correct. 100% of tonight's guests have been brought to you by Toxic, copyright, the signature scent of Christianity. Yeah, that is indecent exposure. Could definitely report him to the feds for that. So, unfortunately, we're gonna try to avoid showing asshole and balls on my stream. That's just, I don't know. You know, I show you these orifices. That should be adequate. So I hope that you all, Tax Brass, I appreciate it. I'm not stopping because of them being bigots. I'm stopping because it's been 2 hours and I'm sleepy. So, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Let's go head over to Mezzo's stream. What can we say? What can we say? I know they're gonna know that it's me, but I just want us to work the word orifice into our comments somehow. So we're gonna head on over to Mezzo's stream, and we're gonna work the word orifice into our comments. I will see you all again on Sunday. I don't know if Mezzo's doing ass. If Mezzo's doing ass, I'll be there. If Mezzo's not doing ass, then I'll ram some ass. See y'all Sunday. Bye!